Porn addiction isn't about discipline, it's about structure. And if your defense is full of holes, you'll relapse every time. If your defense is weak, you'll keep getting scored on. And if you have no offense, you'll never win the game. What if you could build a system that makes porn stop being an option? First, you need to build an impenetrable defense. Your defense is what's going to anchor your recovery. Every championship winning team studies film, watches footage to see where are their vulnerabilities that they got exposed at and what they need to improve upon. So for you, what are your vulnerabilities where relapses occur for you frequently? So what are the locations that occur for you? So you need to be conscious of this and you'll recognize patterns. So for instance, you might have a high risk zone being your bedroom, your bathroom, your toilet. So you need to be conscious of these and recognize your high vulnerability zones and plan for them. Now that you understand what the locations are, you also need to be cognizant of what devices you're using when you relapse. So is that it's always with your mobile phone device? Is it with your tablet? Is it with your laptop? You need to be aware of what the devices that you're using and also the media that you were on. So is it social media? Was it X? Was it YouTube? That was the origin of the trigger. So you need to be aware of not only the location, but you also need to be aware of the device and what software or social media app you were using or websites you were browsing. So you can fully understand what your vulnerabilities are. So now you can shore up your defense. You also need to be aware of what day of the week you're most vulnerable to a relapse. What time of the day does the relapse occur for you? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? Is it early hours of the morning? You need to be aware of your high risk times as well, so you can fully understand all of your blind spots and weaknesses, so you can start building your impenetrable defense. So now that you're clear on, so now once you've identified all of those things that we just spoke about, you need to start setting up barriers. Now, for instance, if you just went through that process and you came up with, it's always Friday evening till the weekend in the evenings and it's mobile phone device in my bedroom. So now you need to set up barriers to prevent those relapses occurring ahead of time. You need to see the danger coming much further in advance so you can already stop the relapse occurring way ahead of time rather than leaving yourself exposed to your willpower trying to save you when it's too late because the defense has already been breached and now you're completely vulnerable to a relapse, bare naked. Now, in terms of barriers, so what do barriers look like for you in this case? So this is where you would come with a firm decision and an agreement where you would implement a code of conduct that you will hold yourself to moving forward. So you might have a hard and fast rule, and I really do encourage this, is that there will be no technological devices in your bedroom in the evening, say from dinner time onwards. So this could be a hard and fast rule that you've come up with that you'll implement. And this is something that I have done with a previous client that was highly successful. So depending on what your risk analysis that you've come up with, you need to come up with some type of barrier and that will prevent the risk occurring before it's too late. Now we need to identify the major source of danger that's going to take our elite defense to an impenetrable defense. And that's identifying the source of the danger that's coming our way. Now, a lot of the time people resort to pornography use because they're numbing some type of emotional pain or a psychological pain or some type of trauma that they haven't dealt with. And this and identifying what that is for you is going to be critical. Now, this could be any number of things for you. Now, you might resort to pornography when you're feeling stressed and you don't know how to deal with it. You just feel overwhelmed, and it's become a numbing agent for you to aid you in dealing with that. Or it could be you going through a deep sense of loneliness. It could be a relationship that's broken down, or troubles at work, family issues. Now this could go a number of different ways. So it's vital that you identify what that is for you, and this is going to be key in making our defense incredibly secure. And if you've followed those steps, you'll have an impregnable defense. Now we need to shift our focus to building a relentless offense. Now, defense is the anchor to winning championships, but without a functioning and potent offense, we will always be on the back foot. And we don't want to always be on the back foot. We want to be on the front foot. So to create even a bigger gap between you and having porn as an option for you. We want to enter a different stratosphere league where porn is not going to register, and this is why offense is critical. As I said, porn numbs pain. It fills a void, but we know that this is not a solution for us. So we need to come up with a offensive plan that's going to give us momentum to move forward in our life. Okay, so what does an offensive game plan look like, or what does offense look like here? Now, people who suffer from porn addiction, it can make them passive, docile, like constantly like in survival mode. It's not sustainable to live like that and not fall back into porn addiction. So we need to create a forward momentum in our lives. So you need to have a key magnetic objective that gets you excited. Now, this is what offense is going to be like. So think of offense here, like what is the magnetic force that's going to pull you forward in your life, that's going to make you excited to pursue something. Now, that sounds incredibly general, and I did that for a reason. So I want you to figure what that is for you. Now, this could be something like, you've always wanted to improve your career opportunities or prospects, or maybe you want to do a career change because you felt trapped and quite defeated in your current job, and you lost that kind of vigor and excitement to change that situation for yourself. Or perhaps you want to put yourself in a position where that marriage is a viable option for you. So that means maybe you need to work on your physical fitness, or maybe you just want to work on your physical fitness anyway, just because you want to live a more healthier life with more vitality. Maybe you just want to hone in on getting your sleep in order. Maybe your sleep is a key issue in your life, and so you just want to hone in on improving your sleep. Or perhaps you've felt disconnected spiritually, and that is what is going to be your main key objective, so you can hone in. And why this is so incredibly important is because you need to now be tunnel vision in improving your situation. So porn, as I said, was a numbing agent to deal with the pain that you're going through. And now your offense is going to be about, something that's positive. So we're not just playing defense. So you need to pursue something. You need to go all in on a particular exciting journey. And that could be any of those kind of examples that I made. And it could be anything really. So you just need to, because as I said, porn can make people passive and lose and strip them of their confidence. So the way that you can counteract that is by doing something that's deeply meaningful, that has the ability to reinstall that lost confidence that you had previously and start living life in attack mode rather than in survival mode. And when you pair that incredible force with an impregnable defense, then now you have the formula for a championship winning team mentality, and that's going to get you to overcome porn addiction for the long term, for good.